Hello Sagittarius, welcome to Alchemy. This is your fall 2025 reading and my name is NiJiLL. We're going to be doing your fall overview here on the top, and down here we're doing September, October, and November. Remember, this is just an overview. As the months pass, we're going to re-pull these cards and build a very large reading around them to not only expand upon the energy, but to see what else is happening, right? We know that months can be very long at times. Okay, so with that said, let's get started. You have pulled Diamond, and Diamond is number 20 in this deck. And, you know, diamonds are representative, or, you know, zodiac-wise, they are Aries. They represent Aries, the month of April, to be exact. So it's a fellow fire sign. And diamonds, like quartz, are amplification stones, right? So there may be something that is fairly amplified this fall, right? They're also good for cleansing, purification, and new beginnings. So there may be a new beginning here, for sure. You do have the darkening, and this is number 12 in this deck. And as we see, there is a raven here. We have the fire symbol up there as well. We also have a snake, and you know, the snake obviously is transformation. The raven, that could be a crow, could be, right? Raven, crow. It could be a totem for you. Are you drawn to ravens and crows? I think that there's a few Sagittarians out there that are, because I'm really feeling that. But this particular card is linked to planet Pluto, and you are being born. There is a birth taking place here from darkness, and you know that could mean many things, but in my opinion this may be a prior darkness. There may be you may have been born from a dark situation. It could have been your parents, could have been something that happened to you as a child, but there is a brand new birth coming out of this, from what I can feel, because look, you have safe home here, and this is number 39 in this deck, and this is right side up, and it says, I cast the circle round about. Safety now is beyond doubt. And when I see these cards in the upright, in my readings anyway, this is something that you actively want, right? This is not something that comes easily to you, or this hasn't come easily to you so far. Now, this could be a mindset as well. This could be something that you ultimately want. Perhaps when you were younger, you didn't feel that way. You didn't feel like you had a stable, safe home. That is something you really want for yourself, and perhaps for your children or your future children, or literally just for you. Yeah, there is a safe home here on the table, but this is not something that you take for granted, like some people do. All right, we'll put it that way. You do have here a fated meeting. It does say meant to be, destiny, predetermined encounter. But when I look at this, I look at I look at predetermined. You know, there may be something from your past here, Sagittarius, that you think was predetermined. There may be some darkness from your parents that you feel that you've inherited. There may be some darkness from your family that you feel was passed down, or that you're afraid of, or perhaps it's not in the forefront of your mind and it's in the subconscious. But there is something faded, right? That you feel, and I don't feel it's accurate, but I do feel that it might be in the subconscious of your mind. You do have the wizard, and it says use your skills to aid others. And when I see the wizard, I do look at the wizard like he is an alchemist, kind of like you, Sagittarius. You know, you are represented by the Temperance card, and that is the alchemist of the tarot deck, right? So there is alchemy here on the table, something that you're trying to change. Could be your mindset, could be, you know, you could be saying to yourself, I don't want to repeat X, Y, and Z pattern that I saw growing up. I don't want whatever it was that I had. I want something different. There is a safe home here on the table for a reason. There's also a darkening. But like I said, the snake sheds a skin, and there is a darkening. There is something being born from the darkness. Now, if my dogs start barking, I will pause this, because we have the trash collectors outside, and they will react to that normally anyway. So let's just see. You do have drama here, and it says, yeah, it says beware of troublemakers in the workplace, right? But I'm really thinking you had a lot of drama as a child. There was a lot of drama in your household. A lot of drama that you not only don't miss, you don't want to ever repeat that. You, some of us are held prisoner by our childhoods, even though we're no longer in them, even though we've carved out a place for ourselves. We have that in us, you know. And I do think that there is a thing here on the table, and I apologize if this isn't your reading, but this is definitely someone's reading. I can tell you that right now for sure. Now, when we go over to this side, yep, no Hufflepuffing. Yep. I call it a Hufflepuff, guys. Anyway, now this is the Saints and Mystics deck, and you happen to have chosen 2 mystics instead of anything else, which is interesting. And this is Helena. Let me see if I can pronounce this. Blavatsky, Russian. Russian, it says initiations. Okay. Beautiful card, though, isn't it? Now, she is the Russian mistress of magic. And she is the mother of initiations. What are you being initiated into? What do you feel that you have been initiated into? There is that. And you have King Solomon here, and it does say legacy. Wow, does that make sense, or does that make sense? You know, King Solomon is also a magician king. He's Israel's greatest king. And magic on both these cards seems to be a theme. But also we have legacy, right? Legacy. What do you feel that you were introduced to as a child? What do you feel your legacy is? I really think there's a lot of things in your legacy that you don't look at, and there's some things that you look at too much. And I think that your legacy could be the strength that certain people from your ancestral line had, right? But you need to focus on the good, because I really do think that there's something good that came out of this, which was you. And I know that sounds kind of like precious. Not really into cliches, but I really do feel that it's true. I feel that for you to be so hyper aware of this, that makes you a diamond in the rough. It makes you a diamond, right? So just please keep that in mind. For you to be aware of it, for you to be concerned about it. A lot of your ancestors, if not all of them, weren't. Not as concerned as you, and that's a good thing. But you do have I am brave. Yeah, there you go. You are brave. It says it's time to move on. Wow. From old patterns, habits, fears, now is the time to walk in the direction of your biggest desires and ambitions. Now is the time to be bold and brave. I am brave. And this is number 5 in this deck. It says 77, but it breaks down to a 5. Very interesting. Mercury. Now you also have Capricorn here. And what's interesting is you have Capricorn twice. Yeah, disciplined, tenacious, resilient, Saturnian energy. You could have Capricorn highly aspected in your chart. You could be dealing with a Capricorn. There could be something that goes on during Capricorn season this year, being that Spirit is doubling down on that. But being that you have Capricorn here, and this is number 10 in this deck here, when we look at this here, we have one thing that I do know is that in this fall, on November 14th, 15th, depending on what source you read, Vesta, the asteroid, enters Capricorn, and that is our ambition, our perseverance, right? Vesta represents focus on your chosen path in life, right? And when it's in Capricorn, it can unearth some fear of failure, and that makes perfect sense as to what we talked about here. You could have a fear of certain things repeating themselves. You could be hypersensitive to stuff like that. You do have Venus, and this is Taurus, Libra energy. Venus does rule our love life. You know, it could be something to do with your love life. It does. It also rules our money. So this fear could be money related, could be your love life, could be both. Keep that under your hat as we move along in this reading. You do have first quarter moon. Your commitment is being tested. And you know, Sagittarius, based on everything that I just saw in your overview, perhaps your commitment is being tested by you. There may be something you're unsure of within yourself, and you want to make absolutely sure you're making the right choice when it comes to perhaps someone in your life, your career, your future, both, everything. There is something here that you really are focused on. Definitely. Interesting. Here you have September, October, and November, and just remember, we are going to re-pull these cards and refocus as we go through the months. Now, yeah, man, does this make sense? Very interesting here. Very interesting. You pulled this card again. I'm pretty sure it was last month or the month before, but this was a card that you pulled, and it's called Time. I don't know if you remember this, Sagittarius, but I went into great detail about this card. This is taken from a painting and an old story, mythology, Saturn devouring his children, right? And Saturn devoured each one of his children um, based on a prophecy that he was going to get taken down by one of them. So instead of that prophecy coming true, he decided to eat them. And his mother did hide one of the children, and that children did survive, and supposedly that child was Zeus. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. This is taken from a painting, and I'll put the painting up on the screen. See how similar it is, right? I go into great detail in the last reading. I don't want to repeat myself and bore you, but I find this very interesting that it came out again in relation to everything we just said, right? Fear of being devoured, fear of the past, fear of what a parent, fear of making the same mistakes or making similar mistakes. We talked about that up here. Yeah. And so this is called Time. I'll throw this up on the screen too. And Time, believe it or not, is an alternate card for the Hermit. How different are these cards? But it is also a number 9, just like the Hermit. It is a Virgo Mercury card. Could be a parent that instilled some fear in you. There could be through their choices, through their actions. There was a big impact on you, big impact on your life, for sure, here. So over here you have, wow, I like this. This is September. You have the 9 of Pentacles, and Virgo is part of September as well. So this, whatever it is that we're talking about here, could be going on during Virgo season, right, in September. But you do have the 9 of Pentacles. How beautiful is that? That's great energy. And this is Venus in Virgo energy. And this is a gift from the universe. Do you see how the sun is showering these angelic figures with a gift? This is some sort of a gift here. A gift of, I don't know, it could be money, could be blessings for abundance. Abundance in whatever way you think abundance is. Abundance in a relationship, abundance in your future. There is something that you are being gifted with this 9 of Pentacles energy. And here you have the, right here, you have, the 3 of Wands. And the 3 of Wands is Sun in Aries. A lot of Aries energy, even up here, right? But here you have the 3 of Wands. And the 3 of Wands is a very positive card, right? It's, you have the lion here. You have the lion, you have the monkey, and then you have the couple. So you have the lion, and it's physical power, and you have the monkey, which is intelligence, and you have the couple, which is, could be someone in your life that you're making plans with, or that you'd like to make plans with. But the 3 of Wands is definitely a manifestation of something. And it's a manifestation card. It's a positive card coming after the 9 of Pentacles. It's a really good energy. Now, you also have the Page of Pentacles here in reverse. And what's interesting is the Page of Pentacles is Mercury and Taurus energy. But if you look at this, doesn't it look like a ram's horn? Right? Typically, you don't see a lot of Aries energy on this page. I mean, it's an earth-based card. But here you have it's Mercury and Taurus. It's in reverse. And there is a new beginning, that there is something that you're either missing or you're rejecting, right? And you even have corn on this card. Let me see if I could show that to you. Do you see that? Do you see the person holding the corn? That is a harvest. And that does make sense for September, right? There is a harvest at hand. But you are distracted. There's something distracting you. But I have to tell you, I don't know that it matters, because you have all these great cards. So there may be something that was presented to you that you either are distracted and can't see, or you've rejected completely, because it is page energy as compared to this energy. It's a little weak, but you have the outcome here, which is great. You have the Knight. I mean, especially for a Sagittarian, you have the Knight of Wands, which is Mars and Sagittarius. really nice energy, really nice energy. It is you're exchanging that weak earth-based energy for passion, right? For adventure, for something new, but something exciting, something that excites you. And here you have Venus energy. It's an offer. I'm telling you, some kind of offer is coming in, because here you have more Venus energy. This is Taurus, Libra energy. It clearly says offer on the card. Let me see if I could refocus this. Really sorry, I don't know. Camera. It just happens, especially because I'm constantly there you go. I'm constantly moving these cards onto the camera. It really doesn't have a chance to catch up. But yeah, you have the that Venus. It says offer, and when we add this up and we break it down, we get your energy. We get Jupiter, and we also have 2 number 9s. So you are approaching a culmination here, and I like that for you, right? It's almost over, but there's luck. There's optimism. There's your energy. It's a power month for you. September is a power month for you. Now we are going to pull a few cards to see which month is going to be the best for you as far as growth, the most impactful. But we'll do that at the end of the reading. Now when we move on to October, we have, so you have you have Judgment. And you can see this is number 20 in this deck. It's number 20 in most decks. Now, what's interesting about this is this is more Pluto energy, right? So you have Pluto energy here, and especially in this deck, it is fire and water, right? And fire and water couldn't be more different. Water puts out fire, right? So there's something, it could be a reconciliation of opposites coming together. But in general, especially for this deck, lessons from the past are or had a great influence on you. You want to be washed clean of it. You want to be washed clean, and this is mixed with this card, which is called Time. And I don't know if I mentioned that, did I? Yeah, it's interesting because except that this is not the Hermit, it's called Time. So would you mix Time with this card? It could be that your lessons from your childhood had that impact on you, right? You want to be washed clean. Time. Let's look at these. Here you have, you have Temperance. So this is your card. Sagittarius, the card of alchemy. You have the swan on the picture. You have the fish on the picture. You have a cat, right? Now we look at this, the cat is independence, and that's like feminine energy for sure, right? And that swan is beauty and transformation, but it could be a coupling, and there is some symbolic overlap to the cat and the swan, right? It's that grace, that elegance, and that mystery. There is something mysterious going on. There's also a volcano. You can see the volcano in the background. Creation. There is a sun. There is somebody pulling a bow back and trying to hit the sun. Yeah, there's happiness that you're aiming for, you're trying for. There is a fish that is good luck. And this is one of your power cards here, Sagittarius. Now you also have the 5 of Wands. In this deck, it's a little different, isn't it? Wow, is that another volcano? That's fascinating. So you have a volcano, something good coming from the volcano, which is the creation, and then you have something else here, right? That conflict. So something you were born from, right? So you have this 5 of Wands, Saturn and Leo energy. It is time to clean house, right? That ostrich tells us it's time to clean house. There's a female Sphinx here, and that is power, wisdom, and danger. It's fear and fascination. 5 of Wands is a little bit of stress, but it could be conflict. It could be internal conflict, and we talked about that, right? Internal conflict. And here you have the 2 of Cups. The 2 of Cups is the 2 of Cups is Venus in Cancer energy. Sideways cards in my reading is a decision. Maybe you're trying to make a decision about a relationship in your life. Perhaps you're comparing it to what you had as a child. Maybe you see similarities, maybe you don't. It's not necessarily because your relationship is like your parents' relationship. It's just you could have a deep-seated fear of something not working out long term because of something that happened in your past. But it's something you're going to be making a decision about here for sure. Now here you have the Queen of Swords coming in reverse, and the Queen of Swords in reverse is Saturn in Libra energy. Very, very airy energy. Be mindful of your words in October. Your words could be cutting to someone. There could be a sensitive person in your environment, and they could be feeling very sensitive, and your words could slice right through them. Interesting, very interesting. You know, even in this Two of Cups, you have that dolphin here, which is joy, right? But anyway, you do have freedom and detachment. This is very Aquarian energy, by the way, because this is Uranus, right? Uranus, you have the opportunity here. But when you couple this Uranus card with the detachment card, you could have Aquarius highly aspected in your chart. You could be dealing with someone like that, or you could simply be stepping into this energy, okay? Yeah, you could be stepping into this energy. Now, when we add this up and we break it down, we get more air energy because we get Mercury. That's Gemini, Virgo energy. You have two number 5s here, which is conflict. And like I said, this could be going on inside you, Sagittarius. It doesn't have to be conflict on the outside. It looks like this is something you're going through on the inside. So definitely keep that in mind for October. Okay. Now, like when we hit November, let's see. Wow. All right. Interesting card. Interesting reading here, Sagittarius. My God. You have the Emperor, but, well, I shouldn't say that. This card is called Authority, and like this card called Time, it is an alternate card, right? It is still the number 4 in this deck. So it is the Emperor, but it is called Authority. Now look at that. Look at that. You see how he's holding 2 wands? You know that this card is representative of Aries Mars, even in this deck. But he's holding 2 wands, and the 2 wands is also, the 2 of wands in general is also an Aries energy. Very fiery energy. Very fiery energy. And we have this is authority. This could be, listen, this could be someone in authority. This could be a parent. This could be a boss. This could be someone around you who is going through it here in November. But it is an authority figure of some kind. And you have here, wow, you have the 10 of Wands. This is good. You have the 10 of Wands here in reverse. And this is Saturn in Sagittarius energy. And in reverse, this is good. It's a release from a burden. It is the end of stress. So this could be any kind of figure in your life who is an authority figure who perhaps has been under a lot of stress. It looks like that stress is relieved greatly here in November. You have, let me see. You have the King of Wands coming in sideways. King of Wands is Sun in Leo energy. A lot of fire, right? You have Sagittarius, you have Aries, you have Leo. My God. Good grief, right? And sideways cards in my readings are decision about a person. There is a person in your life who feels very passionately towards you, or perhaps it's you that is trying to decide where to direct your passion. But it's possibly a fire sign, and if it's not, this is you, okay? You're trying to decide where to direct all this passion that you have, because, man, a lot of fire energy here. Perhaps you are a very fiery chart. Other than Sagittarius, you might have other fire in your chart, but you do have here the Ace of Pentacles, and I love that. That's beautiful earth energy. But man, this is the start of something really that has tentacles, long-term beauty, long-term stability, beautiful new chance at something. Okay. You have the moon card coming in reverse, and that is pure Cancer energy. But more than that, it is clarity, right? By the time November comes, you're going to be very clear about something. Whatever you weren't clear about here in September, you're becoming very clear about here in November. Clarity, right? You see things very clearly. There is compassion, nurturing. Perhaps there's someone in your life that you feel this way about. Perhaps this is someone that is giving you a lot of compassion and nurturing. Well needed, well deserved, for sure. When we add this up and we break it down, interestingly enough, we get Venus energy. Again, we go right back to this. Taurus, Libra energy, that is money, that is love, that is honestly, I see both here. I see this Ace of Pentacles as some a sort of a brand new start as far as a job, or it could be a relationship that's very rooted in Earth energy. Could be, okay? Very interesting energy. Now I'm going to pull one of these cards. As you can see here, you have September, October, and November, right? I will pull one of these cards, and I want to know which month is going to be the most pivotal month for Sagittarius. September. Okay. So look towards September here, Sagittarius. Look at that. So it's that we re-pulled that time card. And being that it is pulled, there is something here. There is an offer of sorts. Maybe you're nervous about the offer. I don't know. There's a lot of really good energy here. So I would think about this. I would think about how much time has passed. I would think about how time has impacted you. I would also think about how your childhood has perhaps impacted some of the decisions you make today for yourself, because all that really does matter. Now, we add all the numbers up in this reading and we break them down. We get Mercury, right? So Mercury retrogrades might be very impactful for you. Look up those dates for the whole fall, right? But also that is Gemini, Virgo energy. It's mutable energy like yourself. There is communication. That is communication too. Communication needs to take place for you to really get what you need to get out of this. The number 8 is what came out the most, and that doesn't surprise me. It is Saturn energy. It is that Capricorn energy, the Lord of Karma. What has been passed down to you? What lessons have you learned? For sure. The planet that came out the most was Jupiter, which is good. It is expansion. It is growth. It is luck. It is on your side. And the sign that came out the most, interestingly enough, is Sagittarius. So, and it doesn't happen often that, somebody gets their own sign. So you got Jupiter, you got doubling down, spirit doubling down on Jupiter. Your fall of expansive energy. Communication is going to be very important. There is something here on the table that is meant to be a rite of passage for you, if that makes sense to you. Can't wait to re-pull these cards so we could really expand on this. But I wish you all the luck, Sagittarius. Namaste.